everybody. Welcome to Telarus Studio 19, coming to you live from Sandy, Utah. We're doing a C2C today with my good friend from Comcast Business, Dalyn Wertz. Dalyn is the Executive Director of Indirect Programs and Marketing at Comcast Business. So wow, that's a big title, Dalyn. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, let's see, jack of all trades. I think I do a little of everything. First, Amy, it's so good to see you, and I can't wait to actually see you in person. I'm so used to seeing you regularly, so this is a treat, but I can't wait till we can just have a big hug.
Yes.
So at Comcast Business, I'm responsible for really all of our marketing, our program, and that includes our MDF, all events, communication, really you name it. So, I have an incredible team that works with me, and couldn't do it all alone, but we're lean and mean, and we'll start to finish everything that has to do with the program and marketing and execution.
So we both have some pretty equivalent, awesome channel chief folks, that we'll call them. Me with Adam and Richard and Patrick, you with Craig. Adam did a C2C a little while ago with Craig, and loved it. He referred to Craig as the godfather of the channel. So you're his number one. What are you? What do we call you?
Countess of the channel?
The Countess.
Or Game of Thrones fan, so am I the Mother of Dragons, maybe? Just
Ooh.
my little dragon.
Your little minions out there. I like it. I like it.
Yes, I also I certainly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I also like the fire over you. I got to say, it's like 89 degrees in Salt Lake today. You're in Colorado. I know you got snow last week. Is it cold there, or is this just like a Colorado
it's a little,
vibe?
I like to live a little house on the prairie here. I live in the mountains in Evergreen, Colorado, and I think that's like you have to have a fire going at all times. So.
I like it. I'm in Southern California.
I'll probably start sweating here soon.
Yeah, in SoCal we don't turn ours off very often, or on very often. So in Salt Lake, it does come a time for it, but today is not it. So glad you can have the ambiance for us. So this has really been an interesting 6 months for us, right? I mean, we just the craziness. I always call you first. What are we doing next? What's going on? Where do we go from here? You're a road warrior. I'm usually on the road 2 weeks out of the month. What are you doing these days? How do you keep yourself busy? What's going on?
Well, I was on the road every single week prior to this coming down. The week before, I was actually at a partner event in Mexico, and there was absolutely no mention of COVID. So I think all of us, experienced this thing just come to a screeching halt. And, I think many of us spent that Friday night when Channel Partners was canceled with a glass or two of wine and some tears. So it was definitely a reality check. But, after taking a big deep breath and realizing this is, we'll see what happens, is really I turned into Martha Stewart. And I have a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old, and I just loved being home and being with them. I produced a Comcast cookbook with 93 recipes from our team that we produced, and really sent out for our team to just kind of come together. And I know, like a lot of people, I started cooking a lot. Then I got into photo books. I produced, I think, 10 photo books from the last 5 years of my life. And, and I just started reading and just, just enjoyed kind of being in the moment.
I did a little of that myself. So, I sent you a mask. I got a little domestic. I got the sewing machine out, kind of in honor of my late mother, and said, okay, I'm gonna do what I can to kind of play the part. And, we talked about earlier, you never get mail. There's no mail that comes to your house anymore that's good. And so I kind of made it a mission to put a mask in an envelope of a card and send it to some friends around the country and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I miss everybody so much. We're such social creatures that it's been really hard. And I know a lot of people have had some real struggles with the work from home, environment. It's so good to see you, close to live in size and here in the studio, but nothing makes up.
I remember when I got that piece of mail, I looked at it, and it was just, I paused for a second because I wanted to just take it in. And I think that's a great point. And it kind of goes back to, back to the basics of just the little moments, especially when we were all in quarantine, is receiving that piece of mail. And I know you had sent me a card about margaritas earlier after I was going through some personal stuff with my family. And I mean, just those little moments and those little, kind of just touch points just mean everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we do in these experiences is we reach out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're lucky we have some pretty cool people to reach out to in our circle. Um, we talked a little bit about the fact that work from home has kind of leveled the playing field for some of the smaller suppliers out there. You guys have always been one of Telarus's top suppliers. You're one of our top 5 in all of 2019. But what are you guys doing to kind of differentiate yourselves from, everybody else in the crowd that's out there trying to make a mark for partners?
Well, I think that's a great question. And I do think that, especially when having gone to so many events, and I have national responsibilities, so I look after all of our masters, our 11 masters. And so I tend to go to all of the events. So, having that much face time and being on the road and then suddenly not, I think how quickly everyone, to overuse the word pivoted to, working from home and video, that was an adjustment, but it did what it needed to. And I think we're all kind of going through that fatigue now too. But, I think the strength of our team, our leadership team specifically, and, by Craig's leadership, and when we have such strong relationships, one of the things about our team is we have incredible tenure, especially on our leadership team. And, I think most people know this, but all but one of us are on our second tour of duty with Craig, and that wasn't an accident. We're all very loyal and we follow the best. And so, he strives to be the best, and the relationships that we have and the reputation with our team, we never stopped, even when the days we couldn't get a hold of partners. And it was, what can we do? And it wasn't just about business. What can we do personally to support you? I think it's sending care packages. It's like what you did, Amy. It's just, those personal touches.
Right.
I mean, what a great way to just open the door and really take a time out and just be human. I mean, that's what our business is. It's all about relationships.
Yeah. So the Cable Marketing Summit is kind of famous in the industry because it's so different from what we typically see out there. The cable providers are not really competitors because of the way your footprints don't overlap each other. And so you have hosted, along with Spectrum and Cox and Shaw and some of the other folks out there, a really incredible Cable Marketing Summit where all of the marketing folks from different masters, absolute competitors, get together in the same room, share ideas. I actually saw on my Facebook feed from 2 days ago that 4 years ago we were in the Red Rocks at the Red Rock Amphitheater watching a concert. Last year we were back in Denver and we were saying, event fatigue. And I got up there and said, hey guys, I have 150 events on the calendar for next year. And everybody went, are you kidding me? And you said you support 11 masters. So is that 11 times 150? Or are you looking at trying to figure out how to handle a few hundred, if not 1,000 events during the year? And we talked about that event fatigue and what are we going to do? What now? Now we're at the opposite, right? There's barely any events. I do have a golf event tomorrow, but they're outside. What does that look like for us in the coming, 6 months or a year?
Yeah, I mean, a year ago, none of us could have expected that. That I think that session was called, state skydiving, oh my, or something, when will it end? Because, all of us suppliers that support all of our different master events, that's what keeps us on the road. And it challenges our MDF budgets. And it also, as marketers, challenges, how can we differentiate ourselves? How can we stand out? There is so much noise, and how can we get up outside of the noise? And so, I think it was just a very humbling experience for all of us to go, wait a minute. What I've learned and what I predict is we are absolutely fueled by relationships, and we will never not need that and experience that. We need that face to face. We need that opportunity to be together and to grow together and to collaborate together. I think it was just for a lot of reasons, and I hope people take the positive out of being grounded. I know we're all restless, but this is time for us to focus on ourselves and our health and to be positive, and also to look inward on our businesses and what can we do with our businesses. And I think what's going to happen is that we're going to start to go back out into the field, and we're going to start to do probably smaller, more regional events. And I suspect within a year we'll be back at it. And I think we'll just have a different perspective and our priorities will be different. But I think we're there. while we're home, look at the positive. As a business, I think this is the opportunity to really take some time and look inward at yourself and your brand and what is the message? What is your core competency? What is the culture you're trying to portray? And, kudos, Amy, to you and your team. I think you guys have led the pack in the different marketing services that you offer your partners, from the branding, from the, doing a logo, really that consulting. I know I have a team of field marketing managers that'll also go out and do that. So let's collaborate together.
Yeah.
And so this is when you make the investment. This is when you ask for the MDF and say, this is what I want to do. I want to rework my website. I want to make sure that I'm, up on the latest social selling, opportunities and, really take advantage of those services that are there.
So speaking of social selling, I've had some conversation with partners about, what do I do in this downtime? How do I make those first steps? I'm not really very good at LinkedIn or very good at Facebook. And we've had some conversations about, posting your wins, posting your successes, talking about how you've helped other people, and putting that out there because you never know, especially on Facebook. I love to see our partners trying to dabble there and talk about some of their wins there and what they do, because that person you went to high school or college with that you've maybe lost touch with, but when Facebook first started, we all friended every single name that we thought even looked remotely familiar, right? You never know when that person might be a potential customer. And so talking to the partners about, hey, go put those wins out there. Even if you aren't a bragger, do a little humble brag. Wow, I really felt great because I helped this customer do this. And, I'd love to talk to you about how I could help you. Putting those things out there, I think really can make a difference for our partners. So I just want to, reinforce that with our partners that are watching right now to, reach out to us. We can help you with that. We can help you craft those messages so they don't seem brash, but they just seem like, hey, you're willing to help, right?
Yeah, and I remember being on a panel right when this all started, and it was actually Adam who made the comment, is that we almost have to reinvent our pitch right now, especially at the start of COVID when there was so much uncertainty and people were home for the first time and people were trying to understand. And obviously we all had personal things happening and people were getting ill. And so it's really understanding how do you have that pitch and how do you start that conversation. But I also think this is a huge opportunity. And, you think about with disruption, there's often opportunity. What a better time for us to open the door and reach out. I know for myself, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, it's been so long, I haven't talked to him, I'm kind of embarrassed. How do I even start a conversation? Well, this is a perfect time.
Right.
And to check in, we've all got a little extra time in our hands. I mean, this is an opportunity to reach out. You have reason to reach out as from a human level. How are you?
Right.
And, you're on social media from Facebook to Instagram to whatever you do, and you're seeing things, make some comments, understand, curious. I mean, I love that. Be curious about their business and how can you ask questions and how can you open the door? I think social selling right now is a huge opportunity. And if you haven't explored it, ask Amy and her team how to take advantage of it. Ask one of us, because I think this is not a trend that's going to go away. This is going to be around. Yeah. And this is going to be how we start to communicate with one another.
And I'll just put a little teaser out there for the people that are in Race This Summit. I do have a series of LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, SEO, website videos coming out in the next month or so. So that'll be great for them to be able to come in here and watch. And, we think it's important for partners to work in their business and on their business. So like you said, there's time right now. It's a good time to do that. I'm always curious about what you have up your sleeve next. What is that?
Day and night with something that for a while I was like, man, I need something to look forward to. And I'm so looking forward to our virtual cable summit. And again, if I go back to the heartache of channel partners that we all went through, we were getting ready to launch our first cable awards, with all of the MSOs. And this is the opportunity for us to really celebrate, our cable partners and the accomplishments of all of us in cable. And, we had a big event planned. We had Mr. Chow's, a buyout of Mr. Chow's. We had a live band, all of that. But I promise we have an equally exciting event that's happening in the next week with the Cable Awards. And spoiler alert, Telarus, I know you guys are working on your viewing party, but you have a lot to celebrate. We're just very proud of all the accomplishments. So all of our leadership will be there. And I like to say it's the who's who of the channel, but it's going to be an exciting event. Outside of that, we're excited for next year. It's the 10-year anniversary of the Comcast Business Partner Program. So what a better time to celebrate and also to enhance. And, with everything we've learned over the last 6 months, we're making some enhancements to the program. Ease of doing business is a huge mantra for us. And so, really it's kind of our guiding light of what we focus towards and something that we feel we excel at. So from a program standpoint, you're going to see a lot more education from us. We're making a lot of investments around sales enablement, training, education, stronger platforms to help that. From a marketing standpoint, we're overhauling our marketing MDF funds. So those are going to be available to more partners. And helping more of the downstream partners grow. Where in the past, we've done kind of more of a 50-50 split with the partners. We feel that this is the time to really invest in partners. And, from the digital efforts, from the social efforts, really creative ideas, some of those we will fund at 100%. So we're excited about that. And then lastly, you've seen some, kind of energy and noise from us on social around the network crew.
Yeah.
Craig started that. That was kind of an internal, kind of rally cry, if you will. And we've really embraced it because we truly feel we are the strongest, team in the industry, and we own the network, and we have the best network out there. And it's not just the network, it's the solutions we provide, and it's also the support we provide. So you're going to see a lot more coming out from the network crew soon.
Well, I will echo that. I do believe that your network crew is the best in the business. I love working with your team. It's always so much fun. I'm going to digress for just a second. As you know, I'm president of the Alliance of Channel Women. We were honored to have you be one of our first recipients of our LEAD Award. Our LEAD Award is an industry award that we give out, recognizing really stellar accomplishment by a woman in our channel community. I'd love to just hear from you about how ACW and the LEAD Award has, impacted you, affected you, changed your perspective, anything like that.
Yeah, that was, I think, 2017. And it really changed everything for me. I've spent my entire career in channels. I, started for the first half on the IT side, so I was always, heavily involved in some of those groups. And this has really opened the door for me in this industry. And the support I received after getting that award, and the amount of women that reached out to me and just, wanted to hear more about about my career and what I could do to support them, and vice versa. It was incredible. And for women that aren't involved in ACW, it's an amazing. And don't just join it, participate, get involved with something. I'm on the awards committee with Michelle Kettlecheck, and it's just extremely rewarding. And I know we've got an exciting announcement coming up here in a few days on some of the new winners. And I think there were 55 nominations. I think half of those, even maybe more than half, were from men, which was incredible. And I read every single one of those applications.
Me too.
So humbled by the talent and the passion, and it just was amazing. So I think it is the premier group within our industry. And if you're not participating in it, shame on you. It's not a time suck. It will give everything back that you put into it.
Yeah. And if you need somebody to help you, talk your owner, talk your manager, talk somebody into helping, help you join, pay that membership fee. It's $100. Give me a call. I'd be happy to call your boss and tell him why it's a good idea for you to join. So, you've mentored a lot of people. ACW is big on mentoring. Would love to hear 3 pieces of advice for women or men that are looking to get to their next stage of their career. And I think that's, we talk marketing. It could apply to anything, but, specifically their marketing career. I'd love to hear what advice you give to people when they ask, like, where do I go from here, or what's next, or?
I do love mentoring, and I've been very proud of a lot of the interns and folks that I've, helped shape, and some of them have some very incredible titles. It's been amazing. I guess my first piece of advice would be, I talked about being curious, but start every day knowing you're going to learn something new. Don't ever get to the point where you think you know everything, because forget it. I'm constantly humbled by, new things that I learn. And, as a marketer, I started my career, luckily in channels, but more in a Marcom position. And then I went into product marketing and strategic marketing and then consumer marketing. I've managed Marcom teams, ask a lot of questions and, become a marketing generalist. I mean, specialty is important, but it's also important to really understand all the fundamentals of marketing. I mean, back to the basics of, back in college when we learned about the 4 Ps of marketing. I'm a huge fan of, the SWOT analysis. Sit with product managers, sit with SEs, sit with a designer, understand when they're designing what's the language they're using. I mean, truly understand all of the different disciplines of marketing, because it's really going to help you, kind of understand the big picture.
What about the worst advice you've ever received?
I know, you're too nice.
Yeah.
I was told I was too nice. And I still remember that. And I just remember shaking my head going, how is it possible to be too nice? And, I've had a very successful career being a nice. And I don't think nice is the only word here. I think nice is about being authentic, about being genuine, being thoughtful, being thorough, caring. I'll never stop caring or care too much. That's part of my brand.
Yeah.
That's part of my legacy, that, I hope that I'm never too, nice or to stop or to make something perfect. And I think we all need a lot of nice right now. And I think, in business, we want to do business with people that we like and that we feel good about, that energize us, that inspire us. So, for me, I've always thought about that, and I thought, I'm never going to change and walk away from that. Shame on me if I ever didn't want to be that.
Absolutely. All right. So excited to have done this today. This is my first C2C in Studio 19 at the Telarus headquarters. Thank you so much to my good friend Dalyn Wertz from Comcast. Wouldn't rather do it with anybody else. I love you, dear. Thank you.
Yeah. Love you.